Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So let's talk. I've been sort of on the fence about whether I want to sit down and talk to you guys about this or whether I wanted to just take a break and then come back and sort of carry on as usual. And I decided that I want to talk about it. Whether this video will even get posted, I don't know. But I felt like I needed to do it. And I finally feel like I'm in a place where I can sit down and have this conversation and not cry all over the internet. As I say that, I immediately feel like crying. I have been on quite a journey the last couple of weeks. For those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Jamie. Welcome to my channel. This video really is for those of you who are here on the regular, who follow me, consistently, who watch most of my videos. You may have noticed that it's been a while since I've posted anything. This is the longest I've ever gone since I started this channel without posting a video to YouTube. As some of you may know, I've been dealing with a dermatitis situation off and on since July, and thought I had it under control, and then I didn't. And my face flared up again. And it really sent me on a downward spiral in terms of mental health. So I thought I can either talk about it and maybe some people can relate and in some way feel less alone, or I could not talk about it and pretend like this is not something that has affected me on a deeper level than maybe it should have. So mental health is, it's a touchy subject. It's something that we're talking about more now than ever. However, I think there's still a lot of stigma attached to it. I'm somebody that has suffered from anxiety and depression from a very young age, into my early teens, and probably earlier than that if I really dug deep. I'm normally able to manage this quite well. I would say I'm like a high functioning anxiety human. I go to work every day. I don't let it stop me from doing much. I've created the life that I have in such a way that I can function while kind of staying away from some of my triggers. But this whole situation has really drug some things up for me that I don't know if I even knew were there. So back in July, for those of you who didn't know about this, so back in June, I would say probably in June, timeline wise, it's hard to remember. Back in June, I think I got a sunburn on my face. And then we went back to work after self-isolation time. And the sunburn on my lips just wouldn't heal. And, it kind of went on for a couple of weeks, and then it started to sort of spread. And then all of a sudden it was my whole face. I did a whole vlog about it. I'll link it in the description box down below if you're interested in seeing that sort of portion of the journey. My doctor put me on some topicals and it started to clear up, and, everything was pretty normal. And a couple of weeks ago, I was getting my hair done. Actually, I was at the hair salon getting my hair done, and my lips started burning again. And I was like, that's weird. And by the next day, my face was right back to where I started. And I was still using the topicals. I still wasn't using any active ingredients in my skincare. And I lost it. I just lost it. I reached out to my doctor. I explained to her what was going on. They have put me on a 4-week round of antibiotics. I am 2 weeks in now. At this point, it had spread not just from my face, but to my chest and my back as well. So it's basically my entire upper body. So I'm into the 2nd week of antibiotics now. It is, obviously it's looking better. You guys can see I don't have any foundation on. So Sort of the mental health ramifications of this for me has been, first of all, I own a salon called The Beauty Expert. So it's been rather humiliating from a professional standpoint where, you know, my clients are coming in and I'm like, the beauty expert, we don't know her, she's not here. You know, it really kind of sparked that imposter syndrome in me of like, who do I think I am? You know, owning this salon called The Beauty Expert, walking around looking like a gremlin. And I very quickly realized how much my self-worth is attached to my appearance. Which I know, obviously, I know that that's not healthy. I think there's a certain amount of that to be found within the beauty industry. You know, there's a certain expectation to look a certain way when you're in the beauty industry. You know, I did 2 makeup lessons last week with no makeup on. And I found that to be very humiliating. And everyone has been super sweet and wonderful because we're dealing with adults. I'm not a high school student. This isn't like kids that are teasing me. None of that. It's all in here and in here. Everybody's been really sweet, of course. You know, people, of course, they see that I look different because I do normally have, you know, a full face of makeup on and I don't. But everybody's been really kind, but it's the way that I feel. I have felt over the last couple of weeks like I can't make eye contact with people. I don't feel like I can be myself because I don't look like myself. So I'm working on that on the inside. I am sort of getting used to not wearing makeup, and as my face is clearing up a little bit, for a period of time, it was so painful, itchy and burning and red and raw that even when like mentally maybe you could forget about it, physically you can't because it's there and you can feel it. So now that I'm physically starting to feel a little bit better, I'm finding more and more I'm able to kind of forget that I don't have makeup on and I'm able to kind of be myself, particularly with obviously like my husband and my loved ones. But it has been a really weird, rocky road. I have felt more depressed over the last, you know, off and on over the last couple of months that this has been going on than I have felt probably in my adult life, which is really, I think it's probably a culmination of a lot of things that have happened over the last couple of years, sort of kind of coming to a boil with this one situation being the catalyst, if you know what I mean. We've had a hard couple of years, you know, between breaking my wrist last year and having to take 9 weeks off of work, unpaid, unplanned, and the fears that that instilled in me of what was going to happen with my business. And then, of course, you know, we spent a year trying to sell our house with no success. And then, you know, this year, you know, 2020 has been a tough year for a lot of people, you know, we had a really bad car accident, totaled the vehicle, still dealing with some of the physical effects of that accident. My stepdad getting sick, and then COVID-19 shutting us down. A global pandemic is not an easy thing for anybody to deal with. I think we're all feeling the COVID fatigue, as some are calling it. And then, of course, you know, my stepdad passing away, and you know, all of that happening at the same time, and then this sort of physical manifestation of whatever else is going on internally within me. It's been a journey. It's been a real journey. Yesterday was the first day that I came into work and I didn't cry before I started. For the last couple weeks, you know, my husband would drop me off at work. I'd come up here, I'd sit down, I'd cry for a little while. And then, you know, I'd put my big girl panties on and I would go in with my clients, you know, and they would, you know, be sweet, and I would come back in here and I'd cry in between clients. And yesterday I felt like I turned the corner. God, don't start crying now. God, Jamie, get it together. yesterday I feel like I turned the corner to where I thought it was important to do this video and just talk about it to you guys. I do have a video ready to go that has been ready to go for 2 weeks. It's literally just a Sephora haul of stuff that I like bought for myself for my birthday. But I didn't feel right to post that and just sort of carry on like everything's been normal. Everything hasn't been normal. This has been a really hard year for me, for a lot of people, for a lot of different reasons. We've all had our sort of crap that we're dealing with. 2020 has been just an absolute shitstorm for most people. And, you know, I think we talk a lot about the new normal and what that is and what that looks like. And I think for a lot of us, we're sort of in a mourning period, mourning the lives that we once had, knowing that we might never be there, exactly there again. You know, I think we're kind of going through the stages of grief, and eventually we'll sort of shift into, I think eventually we'll shift into acceptance of the new normal, and that life may not ever look the way it once did, but that's okay. And we can still, you know, find the joy in things, find the good in things. I've talked a lot to like my clients, colleagues, people in my life about making the best of a bad situation. You know, when we were all in self-isolation, you know, I was having like virtual cocktail hour with my friends and, you know, doing live chats on Instagram with you guys and making lots of videos and just trying to, you know, make the best of a bad situation. I did that whole self-care and self-isolation series on here. And, you know, I've always been somebody, even though I deal with depression and anxiety, I've always been somebody who tries to find the good in people, find the good in a situation. But it's hard to it's kind of hard to like hold yourself up like that all the time. And so I just thought I would come on here and have a conversation about that and let you know if you're dealing with it might not be this, obviously this weird skin thing that I'm dealing with, but this has sort of been the catalyst to dealing with some of the things that have been going on internally for me. So I thought, if I'm feeling alone and I'm feeling isolated, then there are probably tons of other people feeling the exact same way. So I wanted to come on here and number one, fill you guys in on where I've been and what the heck's been going on. And number two, to let you know, if you're having a hard time, it's okay. You're not the only one. And, you know, we're all struggling. It's been a tough year. I think it's important to listen to yourself and what you need. What I've needed over the last couple of weeks is a break. So I've been working. Obviously I have to still work, but I've completely taken a break from YouTube. It's the longest break I've ever taken. I just couldn't deal with like posting something and, you know, making a thumbnail. If you've ever dealt with depression and anxiety, very small tasks can sometimes feel like just monumental. And that's sort of where I've been at. So I've been just kind of listening to myself and my body and my heart and what I need. And what I needed was a break. I haven't posted anything to Instagram. I haven't posted anything to YouTube. I really needed to just like put the phone down for a little while, and focus on other things. So I've been focusing on, you know, being healthy. So I've been trying to eat like anti-inflammatory foods, cooking healthy meals, and I've been working out really hard at the gym because it's like the one thing that I can still do normal, is go to the gym and work out really hard. I've been trying really hard to get some of the weight off that I put on during self-isolation. So that's something I've been kind of focusing on. Because for me, one of my sort of coping mechanisms is throwing myself into YouTube, throwing myself into work, throwing myself into like self-care, and all of those things with everything that's been going on with my skin, had become a trigger for me. So I couldn't do any skincare. I still can't. All I can put on my face is like CeraVe lotion, which is just an absolute nightmare for me. I haven't been able to do my makeup. So therefore I can't really get into watching like, you know, the beauty YouTube that I normally love to watch and sort of distract myself with, because the more I watch it, the sadder I am about not being able to put my makeup on and not being able to do my skincare. So that sort of perpetuated like a weird sort of cycle for me that I had to kind of break away from. So I just started focusing more on the fitness and the healthy eating, and you know, I really went dark on social media. A couple of my friends reached out like, is everything okay? Because I have a tendency to retreat when I'm in this state, which I know isn't healthy, and I'm working on that. So I encourage you, if you're dealing with some mental health stuff, find some healthy outlets for you, whether that is similar to me in that you can focus on like fitness and healthy eating and some of that sort of stuff, or whether that's a hobby that you love, or whether that, whatever it is, whether it's reading. I know one of my good friends was also in kind of a dark place, and she found that starting to read again and like taking long baths and stuff really helped her. So we're all different, what helps us sort of come out the other side. But I encourage you to sort of listen to yourself and what you need, and tell the people around you what you need. I'm somebody who has a really hard time telling people what I need, because I think as most people in this industry, estheticians in particular, we tend to be people pleasers. So I have a bad habit of just kind of pushing it down and carrying on as though everything is fine. And, you know, everything doesn't have to be fine all the time. So all that to say, I don't know if that was like helpful or if it made any sense or anything. I really hope I can edit this down to something concise, but all that to say, there will be content coming. I do have a video edited and ready to go. You'll probably see that next. I'll probably look, well, I definitely look very different in that video than I do in this one. But there will be more content coming. I do feel like making YouTube videos it's my hobby and I love it, and I do want to get back into it. I don't know what type of content I'm going to be giving you guys over the next little while. I am waiting to see a dermatologist, so at this time I'm not wearing a lot of makeup. I'm not doing any skincare other than like a sensitive skin cleanser and CeraVe moisturizer. So I really can't do any like skincare reviews or anything like that. So I don't know what I'll be posting, but I will be posting. If there's anything that you would like to see from me in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you'd like to see vlogs, if you'd like to see more like nail content, salon stuff, you know, I am still working. If there's anything specific that you'd like to see from me, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm just gonna post what I feel like posting when I feel like posting it until I can kind of get myself back to a good place. And I appreciate you guys hanging in there and sticking with me on this journey. Once I do see the dermatologist and I get this whole situation figured out and resolved, I will make a whole video on that probably. But I don't know a timeline on that at this point. I could wait a week to see a dermatologist, or I could wait 6 months. You know, I have no way of knowing that. So at this point in time, I just want to leave you with gratitude. I love you guys and I appreciate you. And yeah, I hope this was helpful to someone. If nothing else, I think it was cathartic for me to sit down and have this conversation, if not with you guys, then with myself. So I'm gonna leave you with that, and I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. Bye.